Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ellie Jane, and these are things I wish I didn't do in my early 20s. So first and foremost, I'm a full believer in not regretting things because there's so much growth that comes from reflecting on our past. But these are things that I would share with someone who is maybe in their early 20s or frankly, my future child. So the first thing I wish I didn't do was spend so much money. When I turned 18, I applied for a credit card because I really wanted to build my credit, because that's what they tell you to do. There are a few things a little more dangerous than an 18-year-old with a credit card, but that's kind of at the top. You may develop this mentality of,
I'll pay for it on my next paycheck.
Don't do it. Treat your credit card like it's your debit card. Only use money that you have. This is literally coming from someone who maxed out 2 of their credit cards, which was $7,000. I've paid it off, thankfully, but that is something that I really had to learn from. I just wish I would have learned sooner. When I was working my retail job, I would see my coworkers come up with their Starbucks drinks, and eventually I was like, I want to come up with a Starbucks drink on my break. And so I would go every single break, every single 15, I would get a Starbucks. On my lunch break, I would get some food.
I'd be like, I earned it, I deserve it. I've been at this job all day. Like, this is the least I could do for myself.
I just lacked the awareness to equate an hour of work to like a meal at the food court, and it just wasn't worth it, but I was doing it for too long. And on top of that, I would spend money on trendy clothes. Working in retail is kind of dangerous in that way. You're just exposed to all the other retailers and they talk about the deals that they have, and you'll go on your break, you'll go after work, you'll check out all these new clothes that are out and just be tempted to buy things. I wish I would have invested more in high quality basics rather than low quality trends that I don't even care to wear anymore. That's another huge thing in itself, but don't buy into the trends. I said this in my last video that I was glad that I didn't give into peer pressure, but there were some things I did give into, and I wish I would have listened to myself. I wish I didn't go to university. I dropped out after my first year. As a lot of parents wish for their children, I went to university. I just took general studies because I had no idea what I wanted to do. I thought that general studies would point me in some direction. Ended up dropping out after the first year because it didn't get me any closer to what I wanted to do. I ended up just working retail for a few years, and then I went back to school again. But the first time I borrowed thousands of dollars in student loans. I'm still paying back my student loans to this day. I wish I would have listened to myself a little harder with choosing to go to school. And then yeah, just tying back to where I was putting my money, I wish I would have thought more about what I was spending my money on. I was pretty reckless with, shopping, going on trips I couldn't afford, treating people when I didn't have the money to. I wish I would have just been more smart financially. The fourth thing is drinking to the point of blacking out.
Oh my God.
If you don't know what blacking out means, it basically means you don't remember anything from that night. This has only happened once or twice to me. I would say if there was something I regret, it would be that, because that wasn't me and I lost control of myself. You're very vulnerable in that situation and someone can take advantage of you. Whether you're a man or a woman, you can get taken advantage of. I know in your teens and your early 20s, like you want to drink and have fun and absolutely do that. I think you can make a lot of fun memories doing that, but I just lost control of myself. I don't think you should ever reach that point because you just never know what's going to happen to you in that situation. You can wind up in a pretty dangerous situation. I wouldn't want that for anybody, obviously. Like, drink and have fun, but just be safe. Obviously, if alcohol is a problem for you because it's something that you abuse, something that you lean into for mental coping mechanisms or whatever it is, then of course, seek help for that. Just make sure you're surrounded by good people who can pick up on those signals and not encourage you further, but know when to cut you off. And the last thing was ignoring my physical and mental health. There was a point in my early 20s when I was feeling really depressed. Even though I was surrounded by family, I did feel very alone, and anyone that struggles with depression or loneliness will understand that it's not about the people you surround yourself with. Sometimes you just end up there. Sometimes it does take you getting to the bottom to know how to get back up. I just sought out that information to make me feel better and to catch myself when my thoughts were spiraling. And then there was a point where I was eating a lot of unhealthy food for convenience, a lot of McDonald's, just fast food. When I was in dental assisting school, that eventually caught up to me. My body started showing me a lot of signs that there was something wrong with my gut. I was feeling really moody, I was breaking out, I was feeling tired all the time, and on top of that, I was really bloated. bloated. Eventually I had enough and I just started doing a lot of research, and I found out that I was allergic to dairy and eggs. So as hard as it was to cut that out at the time, I cut it out because the acne was so painful. My periods were irregular. There was just so much going on with my body, and like I feel like I was in denial for a long time. Once I started cutting that out, I did even more research, and that led to me being plant-based and eventually gluten-free, and all of those things reversed all of the negative things that my body was going through. I wish I would have done that sooner, and I wouldn't have to have deal with all the mental and physical pain that I was going through, because at the time the acne was affecting my self-image and my insecurities, and I just didn't have a lot of confidence in myself. I amounted my worth to how I looked. I just felt like I was really ugly, even though my appearance had nothing to do with who I really was. I guess that would be like my final thing, is I wish I would have looked more into self-growth and self-development a lot sooner, understood like why I am the way that I am, how I can improve as a person, how I can become better every single day, the steps that I need to take, the people that I need to surround myself with, the information that I'm consuming, the media I'm consuming, and just being more aware of how all of these things affect who I am and how I think, what I do, basically just being more aware. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps a lot more than you know. If you guys didn't watch my previous video, it's all about what I'm glad I didn't do in my early 20s. So you can check that out if you'd like. Subscribe if you want to see more from me, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.